Let's see if the volume is up first. Okay, I think we have the volume up. Yes. Shalom. I'm Yehoshua Ya'acov from Jerusalem. The particular video, Senator Casey, thanks for your comments. I agree with your attempts to put the best face on it. It's absolutely not necessary. Wolf is a specialist at political science manipulations in the media, and particularly his specialty is putting folks on the back foot to increase his ratings. That said, good luck to Wolf. I heard this speech, and the context is correct. What you said, Senator Casey. He was expressing the deep frustration of the electorate, but much more particularly when he spoke about they cling to their church and their gun. The context was the right to bear arms, not at all the way the media is spinning it. But that's very typical of the media. They will take out of context and premise it in the most extreme possible way to interpret it negatively, and then we have a crisis. And Mark's comment is that he could have phrased it much better. I agree with that, but it's a tempest in a teacup. As Hillary is in meltdown, her campaign office in Indiana burned down as her campaign is burned down, and the next thing we would be expecting to hear is that one of Senator Obama's people will be accused of that, or who knows what. But it's getting pretty shrill and pretty desperate. So let's get back to talkless. The particular context of the statement of Obama was prima facie obvious, and it was the frustration of the people with the extremes of the gridlock in Washington, of nothing being done, of no one representing them and their interests. So they're clinging to their church, their religion, their values, their right to bear arms. So when he said clinging to guns, he was talking about the right to bear arms, because that's a legislative issue and things that they would vote for, a single issue vote. That's the context. That's what he was talking about. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. And so we have the desperate opposition spinning. Let's inflate the balloon. Let's see if we can peddle some noise. And so I think it's ill-advised to be on the back foot explaining rather than just simply saying what the context was, and that it was taken out of context and it's spun into a tempest in a teacup. That's it. So thank you for listening. I'm Yehoshua Ya'acov. By the way, I'm the author of of Humanomics, which is the trilogy that replaces the collapsed local reality of both East and West systems, and its two particular paradigms: the cognitive behavioral science first principle, which is receive to give, which is Humanomics central organizing principle, and the most important for America is the new economic paradigm, the integration of labor, that is the winner take all for the presidential election. The one who brings the platform out of the platform committee of the DNC and runs the presidential campaign will win the office with it, and will also make it the policy of the nation, implemented through world-class global technological infrastructure that will attain it will realize the most competitive economy in the world for the next century. It will make the G9 its partners in the 4 to 5 trillion investment of development costs. At the end of the first year, it will be creating sustainable domestic content jobs in the tens of thousands, and it will run on for years through 10 and 11 when it peaks in full employment, and full employment not defined by the present methodology of 4% unemployment being viewed as full employment. But I'm not going to go into the esoterics of that. In the first 20 years of its operation, it will triple the gross domestic product, and by years 16 and 17, it will have tripled the purchasing power of the dollar. It will have eliminated the national debt, eliminated the trade deficit, and will as well eliminate the Social Security deficit. And in addition, it will retool the entire workforce. It will retrain and re-educate the entire American workforce. This is a win-win situation. Humanomics in general and its new economic paradigm, the integration of labor. I'm its author. I authorize this message. I endorse Senator Obama. I've heard some specious and spurious claims that he's not to be trusted. He's a socialist. This terrible Reverend Wright, inflammatory comments, and other socialists. And okay, so I've done my own homework and research, and the people who were the educators and the colleagues of Senator Clinton, they're definitely fit into that category. Barack Obama, it can be argued that some of the people who influenced him might be viewed in this vein. It is my measured and considered opinion that he is by no means a socialist, not in the closet or otherwise, and any information to the contrary I'm sure would have come out by now. But in any event, the post collapse of the local reality, socialism has collapsed with communism, because socialism is nothing more than a facelift of communism. And the capital market system has also collapsed. It's imploding. And the post East-West convergence model is Humanomics, and that's what I'm about, and that's what I'm the author of. It's a trilogy. Humanomics trilogy is 2,500 pages. It's in its 5th draft with 300 or 400 graphics. There's a few hundred videos on the YouTube and the video blog that begin to raise up the articulation. But at the end of the day, we are going to move into from the collapsed local reality to the quantum reality, and we are going to end the denial of the collapse of the local reality that ended man and mankind's exist. And we're going to habit the quantum reality. And in economic terms, that's the new economic paradigm as well. So it's a win-win situation. He is the man of the hour, of the day, of the times. He's a good and a decent man, and the opposition is becoming very desperate. And so once again, I want to repeat that the particular specious and spurious libels and allegations of how terrible what he said and how offensive, it would take only a very narrow and myopic interpretation, and in fact a very erroneous one and a wrong one, to derive any specious meaning. The bottom line is very simple. He was speaking in the context of the frustrations of the electorate, clinging to single issues: their religion, the need for jobs, and the right to bear arms, gun control. He was talking in that context when he said cling to their guns. He was talking about their right to bear arms. Period. That's a legislative issue, and it's been spun to sound like something it isn't. Okay, so enough already, folks. I mean, get serious. Okay, we love you, and in Pennsylvania and Scranton, and Senator Casey, carry on. Kol hakavod. And Senator Barack Obama, you gotta be extra cautious, because every word you speak is going to be taken out of context and spun into every possible tempest in a teacup that they can possibly create. The opposition is desperate. Why? They got an empty bucket with holes in the bottom. As Hillary's on the bricks, she's out of it already, and McCain hasn't got anything. He's got an empty bucket also, and you've got the new economic paradigm, and they're jealous and they're desperate to discredit you before the electorate. Stand tough, and we bless you in Kabel B'Shilatet, Hebrew. In English, that translates into receiving to give, receiving the real you, to give the real you to you, your family, your community, your nation. You're a good man, and don't let anybody say otherwise, nor will we. We love you from Jerusalem and bless you. All the best. And to you, Senator Casey, Kol hakavod.